been at their homes for so long, but as they come together in groups, they're singing, they're raising their hands, they're doing games, and they're finding things to do and get involved together, and I think that shows the family part of it.
Well, something else too I think is interesting too. There are not only folks there that are from local. There's one I know particular that's from Wisconsin, another one that was born in Russia, and so they really have a closeness, because even though they're born different places, because they're different upbringing, they still come together as a family. Would it be all right if I just gave you a little bit of history?
I would love for a little bit of history. You go right ahead.
Well, the thing that I think is really interesting too is Miss Barbara Greenfield as the one who really was inspired to begin Bright Life Farms. And she started this, I guess the inspiration from this in 1999, getting the legwork, the paperwork, the legal work done. And during that time from 1999 up until 2002, which the first house was built, it was called the Harrelson House. Then in 2005 was the Sun House. 2009 is the Oliver House. And then in 2018, there was another house built called the Field Hall House. And then it was dedicated last year in 2019. So right now there are 4 houses, 8 residents per house. Every one of the residents have their own bathroom. Each house has their own kitchen and living room, as well as staff room, and laundry room. And all of them are co-ed except one house. One house has all males, the rest of them are co-ed. They're brothers and sisters is what they are.
I've seen them where they've gone fishing right there at the farm, and they have the most beautiful flower beds, and they'll grow their own vegetables, and man, it makes you jealous a little bit. They've really got a beautiful location out there. And, of course, Miss Greenfield, the Greenfields mean the world to us. They really do. And I think what they've done for this community really and truly is amazing.
Well, Miss Roberta Robertson right now is the chief administrator, and she's doing a great job with it, too. And she wasn't able to be with us this morning, but just want to give a special thanks to Miss Roberta for everything that she does.
Well, I'll tell you, it takes a special person to do that.
I'm almost afraid to call names. I don't want to start calling a bunch of names because there are so many that are involved with this.
Well, you don't want to leave one out. That's the problem, too.
Right.
Yeah.
But the residents over there are just wonderful, and I know I heard we were just talking about it, Unity. Or did I say the wrong one? Come over this weekend and did the drive-through parade. Charity. Well, Unity, there's you a shout out to. But Charity Baptist Church come over and did a parade for the residents over the weekend just to kind of perk them up, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And now they brought goodies and stuff too. I heard they brought hamburgers and all that good stuff. Yeah. I think that's amazing, though, because little things like that can really make their day. And here's the part that I think it bothers me the most, and I'm going to try not to get emotional about it at all. A lot of us fuss about COVID-19, and a lot of us fuss about not wanting to stay home and not getting to get out and socialize. At least we understand what's going on. Because the one problem that I think that I feel so bad for is like with Eli, he doesn't understand. For the most part, he loves to be around people. He wants to go to church so bad he can't hardly stand it. He will point at the church. He wants to, he'll holler to go to church. That is the usher at our church. I mean, he tells everybody when we get going, and he never says a word. I mean, he doesn't speak or sing or anything, but that's where he wants to go. They don't understand, and they're such social people. That I know that it's hard for them just to stay at home and stay cooped up. But that's the one great thing I like about Bright Life is that it's spread out and it's beautiful.
Well, something to add to that, too. It's a Christian atmosphere there at Bright Life.
Right.
And it's unbelievable the number of churches that support Bright Life and folks around the community that maybe just want to come by and just say hello to them, or maybe some monetary contributions to them. Maybe come by and lay some tile, paint the walls, any numbers of things, build a carport. And we even had one not long ago to donate 60 dozen eggs.
Isn't that amazing?
Get to thinking about
that's
this,
a lot of eggs, Lester.
But how many eggs do they eat, though? You think about
true.
35 there, 35
that's
or so.
True.
They eat a lot of eggs. They drink a lot of milk. They eat a lot of bread.
Right.
A lot of food, and also the Hunters for the Hungry donate a lot of venison. Others donated hogs. Others have donated beef. So there's a lot of food that goes through Bright Life Farms.
Well, and how
about
how do they end up there?
Well,
Are they nominated to to be there, or?
I want to go back in this history just a moment, and then we'll get on that.
No, go for it.
I was pastor at Chapel Hill at the time that this started, and
That's my neighborhood, Lester. You
I know,
watch out
well,
now.
mine too. So I live 5 miles from there. But anyway, at that time, Brother Harold and Barbara were members of Chapel Hill. Brother Harold had gone and Barbara had gone to a meeting. I think it was in Lexington, and there was a place there that was similar to this, just out from there. And when they started home, Barbara said, "Harold, I want to go by that place." I think this is something that we can do in Caldwell County.
I think it's something we did.
It was a calling. It was a calling. It was a dream. They went by there, and when they left, she said, "Harold, this is what we want." And that's where it started. And then they started working on land and had some donations and things. And and it's just amazing all that takes place. And then just being able to go through all of the things and trying to decide those that can come and those that are a part. It's a long process, and I really appreciate those that work and take a part in doing all of that. Dwayne and I do a lot of meeting there, but as far as that part of it, there's people that does a lot of hard work in deciding and meeting with those that do need to come, and we know that everybody that comes like that probably has a need, and it's just but just how that and I'm going to say it like this, how God takes a dream and a desire and calls people to special work that then puts something like this in place.
No, I think the Greenfields were where they were supposed to be in that area. I really do.
Oh, definitely.
The things that they built from the ground up that are kind of mainstays and just kind of signatures for Caldwell in a lot of ways. Sugar Creek, I mean, Greenfield, he helped lay the brick. I mean,
he did. He's the first pastor there.
Yes, and my daddy was the first one he baptized back in the day. I'll tell on my dad. Now he's going to kill me because I'm old. But, they were a part of our community for so long and have been, and we miss Brother Greenfield so badly.
Oh, yes.
But she's amazing as well, and I don't want to... I don't want to not say something about her because she's amazing. And we knew he'd be late because he's a Raiders fan. Brother Mark Faughn just walked in.
I heard that.
And I mean, that's what happens. When you root for the wrong team, you can just expect that out of some people. We love Brother Mark Faughn though, and he just got here. Of course, we're talking about Bright Life Farms this morning, and these are some of the gentlemen that are instrumental in that. And I told them to write down what they do at Bright Life Farm, and because I knew I'd get it wrong. I promise you, Mark Faughn will tell you that I'll get it wrong if I get half a chance. See?
Careful.
See, Brother Lester said, "Be nice to me today."
That was my plan, was to be nice to you.
Oh, let me make sure I turn that on. We got to get that and play it over and over again. Vice President, Board of Directors is Mr. Dwayne Vinson. We love him to death. And, of course, Board of Directors as well as Brother Lester Watson as well.
And Mark, too, is Board of Directors.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's six of us. There's 6 of us on the Board of Directors.
Can you tell us the other 3? I pick on him when he's around. I can't help myself.
Well, in alphabetical order, okay?
Yeah.
I've got them. I have them written down. Wayne Cash, of course, Mark, Donnie Robertson, Roberta Robertson, Bob Trowbridge, me, Dwayne Vinson, Lester Watson, and Tony Watson.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, I think that's, again, I don't see how 6 of you do it because I think it would take 100.
Well, you know what? Let's keep in mind this is it's Christian based.
Right.
We begin every time that we get together with prayer. And it's nothing unusual for us to end in prayer. it's nothing unusual for us to call each other and say, let's have this as a matter of prayer to make a decision. And so God has led us through a whole lot of decisions, every decision, I'm going to put it that way, that we've done. There's been times I think maybe we've looked back at it and maybe we didn't include God as we should have, and it didn't all work out. But He's taken care of us. I think we've got to give the Lord the credit for it.
And we talked about, some of the eggs and different things that people have given over there. Is there a lot of businesses that have gotten involved in that too, that have really gone out of their way to bring stuff to you?
Definitely, yeah. It's all excuse me. It's always amazing, and Miss Roberta's always reporting to us, and you can always tell something good's going to happen because she'll say, "Praise the Lord," or God has done it again, or something like that, and that something good has happened, and it's amazing the different things that people do, the special donations, the grants and things that has come through companies, businesses, and
well, you see
things.
them out and about a lot. They get out and about. I love that. I see them at the bowling alley when I'm over there. I mean, they get out and about and stretch their legs and have a lot of fun.
Well,
and that I think really keeps them active.
Well, for instance, yesterday, and bless my heart, I went to church at Cedar Bluff yesterday.
Oh,
so bless my heart.
Bless your heart. I'm telling you.
But anyway. We were sitting out.
Brother Lester, have I ever told you have the patience of a saint?
Amen.
You really do.
Well, that's what someone else said yesterday.
Yeah.
But anyway, but after.
See what you get when you run late.
But we were sitting there in the parking lot, and with all seriousness, it was a great service, a great time.
Yeah.
But I looked up, and here came this van, Bright Light Farms.
Aww.
And one of the homes came and worshipped at Cedar Bluff yesterday.
Isn't that
and
wonderful?
They were at our church too. So it's.
I bet that just tickled them to death. I really do.
It tickled me to death, and I just want to say a couple of things if I can.
You go for it.
I know I'm late. I don't know why I got my time messed up, but anyway, I'm here now, and they touched on a little bit, and Christian based is they're Christians. It amazes me how they can quote scripture and they'll just spit it out to you, and they're learning all the time.
I can't do it no more. I did when I was a kid, but I can't anymore hardly.
Well, you know what that means, don't you?
Then
Yeah, we will just leave it right there.
Well, I should have shut up.
Leave it right there.
I should have shut up, Lester.
It's what we'll do. But I want to encourage churches. This virus is going to be over one of these days, and we're going to get back to normal. And what I mean by normal, we're going to be able to get back in our church houses and have Sunday school and just get back to worship the way that worship is supposed to be. And I just want to encourage every church to invite Bright Life Farms to come to their church, and they'll take up the whole worship service, and you'll be blessed. They'll sing for you, they'll quote scripture for you, and as has already been said, they like to eat. And so I just encourage you, if your church is able to feed them, just give them a great meal. We're Baptists, we like fried chicken, they like fried chicken, and so, but they'll eat pretty much anything you lay out there to them. And it's good, I think, to take up a love offering for them. And like you said, there's businesses that give. Churches are really, really involved, and the individuals are involved. And it amazes me how they learn. I just want to share a little bit about my buddy Eric. I have lots of buddies out there, but my buddy Eric, I just happened to come there one day. Eric hadn't been there very long. And Eric, when he first came, he wouldn't say much of anything at all. And I introduced myself to Eric, and I was told he wouldn't even tell me his name, and he told me his name was Eric, and so I told him he had a great name, and because my middle name is Eric, and his face just lit up, and me and Eric became friends. At that moment, we became friends, but Eric never would say anything to me for a while, and now Eric, they came to our church, Cedar Bluff, right before the virus shut everything down, and Eric got up and quoted the 23rd Psalm. He quotes other scripture, and he just goes
Word for word, too.
Word for word, with a smile on his face. And that's just one example of the great work that's going on out there at Bright Life. And I think Dwayne said it. I was listening to you on the way up here, and as Dwayne said it, go out there and visit. You're more than welcome to come and tour the houses. And you can't right now, but when things open back up, tour the houses. And I tell you what, the good Lord will just bless your heart of what's going on at Bright Life Farms, and I just
know a
encourage
couple
you
of
to be a part of
teenagers
it.
that went and actually washed cars out there one time, washed their vans for them, and I mean that kind of stuff needs to happen too.
Yes, it does. There's always something to do out there.
I think it's interesting, too, that all of them have a different theme to their room. One may have a theme of Louisville, the other one UK.
Oh.
Yeah. They're right next to each other, too.
Oh.
Yeah. And then another one might have Elvis Presley. One dresses like Elvis Presley.
Now one of them thinks he's a sheriff.
Yeah, one of them thinks he's a
Larry.
sheriff.
Yeah, one thinks he's a
That's
deputy.
Larry.
And
He likes to bowl. That's why I know him pretty well. We bowl next to
Everybody
each
knows
other.
Larry.
I appreciated Eric too. Eric attended Donaldson, had their home attend Donaldson Baptist Church, and when I was interim pastor there, and I just enjoyed it so much because one of Eric's famous sayings is, "Who's preaching today?" Yeah, and our brother Jim Stallings was our music minister, and he retired and left. And for so long, Mark, when Eric I'd see Eric coming down the hall, and Eric would look at me and he'd say, "Who's singing today? Who's leading singing today?" And that was his famous words. And he was a
Tess, let me say one more thing, too. There are three.
You can say 5 more, Dwight. You go for it.
3 that are there now that were the original 3 that started there. That's Larry, since you mentioned Larry. Like I said, I didn't like to
He's a
mention
hoot,
names.
though. I
he
love
is,
that guy.
he's got to be. If we had a poster there with any pictures, Larry's got to be probably the center of the
He's
of
so
it.
much fun.
But Larry, Wesley, and John are all 3. There were 3 of the original that began, and they're still there.
Well, and I'll tell you, as a mom, you don't like to admit when you can't, and you don't like to admit when you need help, and that's probably the hardest thing to think about when you have a kid that's special needs. But thinking about them out there, I mean, come on, they'd go fishing more than I would, so.
Hey, by the way, if someone wants to go out there and go fishing with them too, that'd be a good idea because
I
they
think
love
that would
fishing.
be fantastic. They are so much fun. They really are, and they're so happy. And I don't want to make everybody think that, that there's no girls out there. Beautiful young ladies out there. There's a house full of those too, right?
Right.
I got sappy.
Hey, that's all right. God just blesses us. God is always at work in every single life. And you said we don't like to admit as a parent we need help, or we all need help. Every one of us need help, and we all need blessings. And that place right there, and your child, and Special Olympics.
They're amazing.
It's amazing how God uses folks to bless everybody.
We have more community support for our special needs community here in our area and in Caldwell than I think I've ever seen or heard of. I actually I got a text over the weekend from a friend of mine that wanted to see if I knew of any of them that were looking, for a job, that were needing some, summer extra money, part-time job. And that means a lot for somebody that will, because there's a lot of places that won't hire people with special needs. And I think that's amazing. So, kudos to our community.
Let me add something to that, too.
Yeah.
I've made mention that my wife is probably one of the most popular of the folks that work there. She's the money lady.
Oh.
What happens with them? Well, several of them work at some different places, maybe stock shelves, different things like that they do around, Ackridge, Faughn at Fredonia, Penroll Industries here. They mow the yard there at Bright Life. And whenever their check is written to them, then she goes by and she will pick up their check. They'll sign it. She goes to the bank, gets the money, takes the money back to them. So they're always looking forward to seeing her coming because of the money. But let me say one more thing, too, here before we close. They haven't been out of the house too much since all this started, since back in March. Right. And it's such a treat for them to even go to church. I say to even, I didn't mean it to sound that way. For them to go to church, for them to do anything at all that they can do to get out of the house. And for this parade, if anyone has something in mind, I don't see a thing wrong with it. If someone else wants to come by and have another parade for them, I don't see a problem with it.
It'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Well, you heard it from the board of directors, and at least 3 of them said okay. And I bet one of the other 3 you could talk into it. That'd be a quorum. That motion carried. How about that? But how do you get people involved though on a regular basis, like board of directors? And people that make all those decisions,
it's calling.
and people that volunteer. I mean, where do they come from?
It's a calling. That's all there is to it. I mean, whenever we have such a passion for it, I think we don't get paid for this. I want everyone to understand. None of us on the board of directors get paid. We don't get paid. And so it's a passion for us. It's a calling for us. It's something that I think we'd have a vacuum. We'd have a void in our life if we didn't do what we're doing.
But it's something that you need some younger people, too, doing. I mean, Mark's not getting any younger.
I
was trying.
That's why they got me on the board. I'm the newest member, and that's exactly why they got me on the board.
I was trying not to look at Mark. I don't know, but there's something.
I knew you walked right into that one.
But I mean, Dwight mentioned it on the phone. I'm just saying, Brother Mark. I mean, it was his idea. But that's different ideas in different people. I can't look at him right now. I can't call him young at heart, Brother Lester. That's what the word. Yes,
it's all relative anyway.
That's right. So if they want to get involved, how do they do that though? If they say, you know what, I want to do more than what I do now.
Can I give you a phone number?
Yes.
270-388-6101. I'll do this again. 270-388-6101 and talk with Stacy.
Okay.
She's the receptionist there at Bright Life Farms, and she can tell anyone what needs to be done.
And of course,
Did I say 388?
Yes.
Yeah.
365, I'm sorry.
There we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
270-365. You know what I'm wondering?
What's that?
I'm wondering if I put down. That's Roberta. Let me give you another number. I'm sorry. Okay, the number is 270-365-0830.
There we go.
365-0830, and then asks for Stacy. Okay?
I think that's wonderful. I do, and I mean, I think you need them year round. I don't want people to say, well, it's just right now. No, it's all the time. They can bless you just as much, and I promise you will enjoy it if you ever, get a chance to be around them, an opportunity.
One of the great big joys that I had when I was at Donaldson, I was sitting there one Sunday morning and looked up, and here came this group of guys that I'd never seen before.
Right.
They walked in and introduced themselves, and they were from Arkansas.
Oh, wow.
And I looked at them for a moment, and they said, we're on a mission project at Bright Life Farms. And they've come several times, haven't they, Dwayne?
Yes, they have.
And just a fabulous group of people. And
well, I think it's fantastic. I really do. I want to say that you're, of course, if you're just joining us, we're talking about Bright Life Farms. Got some board of directors here with us, Mr. Dwayne Vinson and Brother Lester Watson and Brother Mark Faughn. Of course, all board of directors. And of course, Mr. Vinson, I have a hard time saying Dwayne. Because I've been saying Mr. Vinson for so long that it feels weird, but I'll tell you what his first name, Dwayne Vinson.
Well, you're used to me referring to me as a school teacher is what it is. I know what it is.
It feels so wrong, Brother Mark. But anyway, they're here with us at WPKY Princeton, and we're talking about Bright Life Farms and what they need, what they can use, and how we go about doing that, and how we get help out there to them. So any upcoming things that you want to mention?
There's one thing I want to mention. There are 2 or 3 vacancies out there, and so if you know of someone that might be a great candidate to come and be part of the Bright Life family, you can get a hold of probably Roberta would be the one.
Yeah, that number I gave a while ago, Roberta's 388-6101, which you can call her too.
And now is this a an employment
No,
position
she-
or a volunteer position?
Resident.
Resident.
Oh, a resident. Now, see, what are the requirements for a resident? I mean, is there an age requirement? I would say. I mean, that'd be the biggest
The
question.
youngest one we've had there, I think, is 18.
Okay.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Larry is the oldest. If I'm not mistaken, he's 66,
Probably is.
68, somewhere thereabouts.
Okay.
So the age is going to vary, but I would think probably, I don't think anyone has ever been accepted that's under 18 years old.
Okay.
And as far as that, they're interviewed, it has to be someone who can get along with everyone.
Right.
Someone who has maybe can't take care of themselves, I'll put it that way, and they need a place to stay that they can feel like a family.
Okay.
And so the interview process, there's more to it than that. I won't go into everything, but there is an interview process, and different questions will be asked not only to
Right.
the person that's coming, but particularly to the family or guardian, I'll put it that way.
Well, and I think that's wonderful because some of them, it feels like they're living on their own. They're all it's like the single guy house. They're the bachelor house over there at the house. It's just I don't know. It's a lot of fun for them, and they like you said, Louisville next to UK. I mean, you won't see that very often when people actually get along. I can tell you that right now.
No.
And they fight about everything, but they don't. They actually can teach us a lot about having a different opinion and not having to fight about it.
Yeah,
They really
right.
can.
They're not throwing things across the table at each other just because they don't, necessarily agree on every little thing. And I think we can learn a lot from them. I really do. Now, don't get me wrong; they might argue a little bit because that's fun. I mean, competitive's fun every once in a while.
That's right.
And that's the one that laughs about it right there. He knows who I was talking about. Okay, give us another phone number again.
Well, let me go ahead and give you. Roberta is the chief administrator, Roberta Robertson. Let me give you her number, 270-388-6101. Bright Life Farms is 270-365. Let me get my glasses on just a second. Let me go over that again, 270-365-0830.
Okay.
Now, let me say one more thing, Tess. It's called Bright Life Farms. We no longer have what's called farms there anymore. There was a time whenever I had several different type of garden products to sell, corn, sweet corn, beans, different things like that.
Right.
But we no longer do that.
Right.
It's just the only thing that's sold right now are apples. And so they do still have some apple trees there, and they do sell those apples in the fall of the year, late
They might
summer.
sell you a smile.
That's right. Or
They'll
give it
give
to you.
that away.
Give it
Yeah,
away.
they'll give that away for free.
But it's no longer, even though it started out as farms, they're not required to go out there and make them go out there and work. We don't, so I don't want anyone to get that idea that we require them to get out there and work and labor and sweat. Well, they don't do that.
But the opportunities are there if they want to.
If they want to raise
do
a
something
little
with
bit of-
vegetables or flowers or anything
Right,
like that.
Well, they had chickens there for one time.
Oh.
Well, you know what? Those chickens didn't hardly behave themselves.
Chickens
They
that
scratched
don't.
up the
What?
scratched up the plants and got on the
Never
the porch.
heard such a
yeah,
thing.
I know. And anyway, they did have chickens there for a while.
Well, I think
no
that's
longer
wonderful.
now.
I really do. I think you guys do a fantastic job out there, and it's something that not everybody is called to do, but if you are, I think it's a very special person, and I appreciate what you do very much so.
Thank you for having
Really
us on here
do.
this morning.
And I think most of us do in the area. We're pretty proud of Bright Life being here and what the green fields and then, the people that have come after them that have taken care of it after that as well. That I think we're all pretty proud of it being here.
And
Yes.
Miss Roberta does a great job.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Thank you so much, all of you, including you. I mean, even you.
Thank you very much. And you come back and see us sometime, okay?
I will. How about
right,
that?
yeah.
Brother Lester Watson, and of course, Brother Mark Faughn, and Brother Dwayne Vinson, and Mr. Vinson, from all of you ag people that have taken ag in FFA for years. So there you go. Good morning, Michelle. I told him you were a wonderful person, by the way. Best little girl I know.
They don't know she's my daughter. Michelle is my daughter. Okay, Michelle Travis is my daughter.
I told her I'd put in a good word for you. Why? Stick around. We're going to talk to another great lady. Miss Jerger's coming up next on Coffee Talk on PKY.
Shop local, buy local, save big.
It's here. The Loyal
Listener Big Deal Store is online and waiting for you to shop and buy gift certificates to local businesses. Go to WPKYonline.com. Click on Loyal Listener Big Deals. Here you'll find dozens and dozens of gift certificates. Some you'll even be able to redeem from your smartphone. Shop and buy 24 hours a day and save a ton of money in the process. Save on oil changes, dining out, haircuts, car washes, and more. Our store never closes. But you better hurry. You never know how long each deal will last.
Kay's Kitchen wants you to know that you can still enjoy their delicious home-cooked food you love without even having to cook it yourself. Kay's is offering carry-out Monday through Thursday, 6 to 2, Friday, 6 to 7, and Saturday, 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can order that amazing cook-to-order breakfast or your favorite lunch for pickup. Things are a little different, but we must adjust. And our businesses really need your support more than ever. Call in your orders to Kay's Kitchen at 270-365-2709. Kay's Kitchen, Princeton.
Local businesses have supported us in every regard. Now it's our turn to support them. Here's a way you can help.
This is Beth Mann, President and CEO of the Edge Media Group. In times like these, it's good to know your local business person. The company that fed first responders, the shop that donated goods, the store that served as a drop-off location. Local businesses are the backbone of the community. As we flatten the curve and rebuild, we need you to support local life. Keep our local economy strong with our local businesses. Here today, here tomorrow, we're in this together. Support local.
The Edge Media Group encourages you to support local. Be sure to post what you're doing to show your support. #SupportLocal.
At ABC Finance, we have always been committed to keeping our customers and our staff safe and healthy.
In response to the recent COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak, we have implemented several new policies company-wide to ensure the safety and well-being of all.
This includes limiting access to parts of our office to the public, isolating loan closings to one area, and frequently sanitizing all hard, frequently touched surfaces.
We have also asked our staff to please stay home in the event they are feeling unwell.
If you, as a customer, are unwell or are uncomfortable with getting out of the house, stay home. And please remember, payments can be made by phone or online at abcfinanceonline.com.
You can also apply for a loan on our website with fast decisions and quick turnaround time.
If you have any additional questions, please contact the office nearest you. Locations are listed on our website, abcfinanceonline.com.
Also, follow us on Facebook for the latest information. And stay safe from all of us at ABC Finance.
1580, 103.3 WPKY. And of course, the sunshine is coming out. Look at that. You know what happens? I had Dwayne, Vinson, and two other preachers in here, and suddenly the sun came out when we started talking about Bright Life Farms. I personally don't think that that's that by coincidence. I think the good Lord said, put a little sunshine on it. So there you go. That'll make them feel good. They brought the sunshine out. Of course, we got Jenna Jerger. Bless her heart. Good morning, lady. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing really, really good. And I'll tell you, of course, Health First Community Health Center right here in Princeton on South Jefferson Street. And, of course, you've got a friend there with you, too, right, Miss Tara?
Yes. Tara is our application enrollment specialist.
Ah, okay. Well, bless her heart. Now, it's Tara Tapp Kolody, right?
That's correct.
Hey, I got it right. How about that? It's been a long day, Tara. So, what are y'all up to over at Health First Community Health Center?
Well, taking care of all the health needs of the folks in our community. We wanted to talk to you guys today about some special enrollment that is being offered through Medicaid. It's called Presumptive Eligibility, and it allows individuals that need health care coverage to get that through Medicaid. And they have actually relaxed the regulations, the typical regulations, so anyone can apply that needs that coverage. And I'll let Tara tell a little bit more about that. There's also another program available called K-CHIP, and a lot of families are eligible to enroll their children and teenagers in K-CHIP that may not realize that they're eligible. So we just want to educate the public about these opportunities so that folks can get the health care that they need.
Well, bless her heart, I'll tell you, I know that they have a lot of different services for mom and dad and pretty well the whole family, right?
That's correct. At our Princeton office, we offer family practice, behavioral health, and nutrition services. We have Dr. Jamie Perry, Chelsea Aikens, and Lori Conger practicing at that location. And, of course, we have 8 locations total in Western Kentucky. So we offer a wide variety of services from dermatology to pediatrics. So if you're needing those services, we can definitely get you an appointment. And if individuals have trouble with transportation, if that is a barrier, we do have programs to help individuals with transportation because we want everyone to be able to get the health care that they need. And we also have lots of patient assistance programs that individuals may not be aware of. We offer a sliding fee discount, so individuals pay what they can afford based on income and household size. So with that slide program, there's 4 categories, and they range from $10 to $25, and that covers everything: office visits, any labs, x-rays, immunizations that would be needed. We also offer medication assistance. So we are going through tough times in this nation. If individuals have trouble getting their prescriptions filled, contact our office. We would be happy to help. We have a wonderful lady at our Princeton office, Lainey Beckner, that would be happy to help you with any prescription assistance or other assistance that may be needed. We actually have emergency food kits that we give to families that are struggling. We've got hygiene kits, and there's lots of other things that we offer. We're not just a doctor's office. We want to be a medical home and provide for all the needs of our community.
I think that's so important because I think that's so neat. While you were kind of speaking to what you do, when I was looking down the services, there's some of these that, it's never more irritating when you've got kids in the car, you've got groceries to be picked up, maybe you had NTI work that you had to do. Maybe you need to help out grandma and grandpa because they can't go to the store right now because it's not really safe enough for that they feel like that they feel comfortable enough to do it. You've got extra errands that you didn't used to have, but you know what? I still need to see the dermatologist. How awesome is it that I don't have to worry about traveling 2 hours to go see my dermatologist because it's right there at the same place that I took my kids to get their immunizations?
Right, and actually our dermatology services are located at our Providence office, but again, as I mentioned, we've got transportation assistance to be able to help individuals get to that office location if transportation may be a barrier.
Right, but that's what I meant. You're not have to travel 2 hours to go do it. It's like 20 minutes down the road, Right. And then we also offer telehealth services. So individuals that may not want to leave their home for healthcare services due to COVID-19, they can contact our office for an appointment over the phone or through the computer to see their provider. So that is a convenient opportunity for our patients to get the health care they need and never have to leave their home. Well, and I know if some people have, maybe you're a little older. I mean, I'm only 45, and I will tell you, my phone, half the time, I don't know how to work it. I mean, that's just who I am. But I have done that. I've done telehealth. My mom and dad are in their 70s, and my dad did telehealth the other day. And I will tell you, it's not complicated. It's the easiest thing. And I'm kind of getting spoiled with it because I don't have to get dressed and go somewhere. If I don't feel good, I don't want to get dressed up. I'm not going to lie about that. And, I think that that's something that's really going to be a cool after effect of something that maybe, I'm hoping anyway, that'll continue after this whole COVID mess is done.
Yes, we've got a lot of patients that love it, and we hope to continue offering that service.
Well, really and truly, like, especially if you're a mom and your child is maybe nauseous, or if your child is suffering, that child does not want to get in a car, and you feel so horrible trying to make them go to the doctor. If it's something they can be seen through telehealth, if it's something that grandma and grandpa can be seen instead of having to, or yourself, if you're not feeling good, the last thing you want to do is go out in the rain like it is today.
Right. And our staff is very wonderful about working with individuals to help them get set up to do a telehealth visit. All they would need is to be signed up for our patient portal. Our staff can help sign them up for that as well. There's more information available on our website, healthfirstchc.net. But it's completely free to sign up for patient portal. There's lots of benefits to that as well. As far as you can access your medical records, you can view lab results, you can actually message your provider and request prescription refills through the patient portal.
Well, and again, that's the part I like. Anything from prenatal care all the way through, my kids' health, and then my health, my mom and dad health. It really runs the gamut on what they do. And I like that you do education too. You don't just tell them what's wrong and say, there you go, good luck with that. I mean, even diabetes education.
Right, and we've got a great quality team that wants to make sure that we educate our patients. As I mentioned, we want to be a medical home and take care of the overall health needs, and that includes educating individuals about what they need to do to continue that great health.
Oh, I love that. Make sure you tell them where your locations are. Remind them how many locations around here and where they are.
Okay. We've got 8 locations in Western Kentucky. For WPKY listeners, our closest location would be at 1100 South Jefferson Street in Princeton. We also offer locations in Arlington, Clay, Providence, Henderson, Owensboro, Arlington, and Calhoun.
Wow. See, I love that. I like that because that tells me that your focus is here in Western Kentucky.
Yes.
And you've got a network, so when something's going around from county to county and school to school here, what they're doing in another state, that doesn't affect me right this second in my kid, but what they're doing next door to me in Lyon County might, or, Webster County might. And, I think that's great to have your ear to the ground in several locations.
Yes, and as a community health center, our mission is to make sure that everyone has access to health care, even those individuals in rural areas, those that may have barriers to care, such as the transportation. So we are happy to be located in these rural communities, taking care of the health needs of the citizens there.
Well, we sure are glad to have you. I think that's the bottom line of that right there. We really are. We're glad to have you here. And of course, make sure that tick season is upon us, snake season, that sort of thing. As people start to get out of their house, as parts of Kentucky Lake and everything opens up, and we're going to get out and we're going to be more active. Now, the more we're active, the more the chance for accidents and boo-boos and all of that good stuff. What is a phone number that they can call? Because sometimes we're not so sure if we need to come in or not, but we'd like to call.
Right. Our phone number is 270-365-9455. And we do accept walk-in appointments. So if you just want to walk in and get medical care, we do have appointments available.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. Again, I think that's wonderful because when you've got some walk-in appointments at least available, we can't always exactly predict when we're not going to feel good. You can't put that on the calendar and go, you know what, next Tuesday. That looks like a pretty good day. I'm not going to feel good that day. I don't think that it's kind of hard to do. So I think that's fantastic. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And over the summer, what do we need to do for the kids over the summer that's a good idea that we get all that done during the summer? Is there anything that we need to just kind of be aware of and be thinking about getting them in on an appointment for?
Well, it's not too early to get in for immunizations. So anyone that your children needs immunization to return to school in the fall, we have appointments available. We also offer sports physicals and those back-to-school physicals that are needed.
Okay. Well, I think that's another thing. Last year, of course, I finally got good at it and got wise to it. But I do want to bring up, too, if your child is playing sports this year or is expecting to as soon as it gets up, you want them to be prepared to hit the ground running. And your school physical and a sports physical are two different things.
Right, and it's never too early to get those, so we've got appointments available. A lot of folks wait till the last minute, and it's best to go ahead and get those taken care of as early as you can. And for those families that feel like they may not be able to afford doctor's visits for their children, we have programs available to help. We also have a Tara that can help enroll individuals in K-CHIP, and individuals or families of four making an income of $50,000 can actually qualify for K-CHIP, and it's actually absolutely free. Provides for immunizations, routine checkups, prescriptions, dental vision care, lots of great services included for that. So if anyone may be interested in learning more about that, they can contact Tara at any of our locations.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate that a lot. I love that, these services between family practice, behavioral health, women's health, pediatrics, prenatal care, dermatology, nutrition, diabetes, medication, weight management, metabolic, you name it, the list goes on and on and on. So give us that phone number one more time.
270-365-9455.
Bless your heart. Miss Tara Tapp Kolody. Now, I want to say that right?
That's correct.
I got it. So remind us what you do.
Well, I am an enrollment specialist for the state of Kentucky, and right now what I'm doing the most of is doing the special health care coverage during this COVID-19.
Well, I think that's amazing because we could use the help with that, really and truly.
Yes, it's temporary coverage for individuals, families, children, anybody that needs assistance right now. Anyone can apply for this presumptive eligibility. It's usually a quick phone call of 5 minutes or less, and they have lifted all the caps, the regulations that are on there as far as income goes. So it's really available to anybody who wants to apply for it. I know, a bunch of beauticians. So many people have been out of work right now. I say beauticians, I guess, because that's what I need the most, maybe.
Well, I mean, there's a live feed, and I'm the one that is on this end of it, so everybody sees that I need to go there.
Well, there's just so many people that's been unemployed, right, and maybe it's been long enough that their insurance through work isn't even available right now. So this right here that they're offering through the state, the Medicaid assistance, has just been a blessing to so many people. And right now, the coverage for it's pretty much until further notice. We're not real sure as far as when it's going to end. I know there will be an end date, but we're not sure when. But this is, it helps everybody with, not just at our facilities, but if there's an emergency, you have to go to the hospital. As long as it's a Medicaid provider, this coverage, the presumptive eligibility, will cover.
Well, and I love that too, because it's not like we all scheduled the pandemic around whether or not we're going to be sick either. Life has still got to go on and does go on, whether, COVID likes it or not. And that's one of those things that, if you're out of work, maybe you got out of work right before it started. man, being able to be covered, but even better than that, having somebody like you that knows the red tape that can help me figure it out, because there's so many programs right now. I couldn't tell you which one I would need. I mean, I need you is what I need.
Yeah, anybody can call. I'd be happy to answer any questions that anyone may have on this. And like I said, if anybody wants to apply to see if they're eligible, like I said, it's usually less than 5 minutes on the phone. And then I would either mail the card or they could pick it up there at a facility that's closest to them.
I love that.
And
5 minutes.
It also helps with prescriptions and so many things.
Woo, girl, don't get me started on prescriptions. I think we're all, I think we'd all love for you to figure that one out for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ladies, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Of course, I knew we were running a little bit late, but they've been so patient and so wonderful with us this morning. Miss Tara Tapp, Kolody, and Miss Jenna Jerger. Y'all, we can't say how much we appreciate enough what you're doing on the front lines and helping everybody. And you have been the whole time. You didn't run away screaming. You said, you know what? There's a problem, and we're going to figure out how to make it all right. And we appreciate that. And, of course, again, the closest location right here on South Jefferson, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, well, and of course, that's right here in Princeton at 1100 South Jefferson Street. And make sure you give them that phone number.
270-365-9455.
Miss Jenna Jerger, we sure do appreciate you, hon. And Miss Tara as well. Of course, Health First Community Health Center. They can hook you up. And I'll tell you, I really, it's not your mama's community health district, when she was growing up. This thing has changed. And I love seeing that, there's a whole bunch of different communities that are kind of connected in the same network. And you offer from, all ages that a family can possibly have. And I think that's a one-stop shop, and I really like that. Health First Community Health Center, of course, right here in basically downtown Princeton, not just a few blocks off of downtown, 1100 South Jefferson Street. We sure do thank you again, ladies. And, of course, that phone number is 365-9455. And if you've got something that you need for community calendar, make sure you email it to us, WPKYonline@gmail.com. Or if you've got birthdays or anniversaries, that'll do too. If your child would like to kick us off with the pledge, which is something that we do on a daily basis. And, of course, today, you know what? We didn't do it at the beginning, and I just now noticed that we didn't do it at the beginning, so now we're going to do it now. Take it away. First, everybody stand up. We normally start our hour this way, but we're going to finish it off today with it. Here we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, we love that kid, Kason. We do appreciate you this morning. Again, log on to WPKY Online for all of your graduation activities and when they're coming up. Stick around. Audrey Lamb is going to be up in just a little bit with all the latest. First, I ain't going to let you go nowhere yet till I tell you what the forecast is going to do, right? I have had to tell you all morning long about the rain, and now I get to be the first person to tell you sunshine. I love that. I was hoping we'd see a little blue sky and fluffy clouds and sunshine happening today, and that's what we've got right now. Because those showers are supposed to move out. They're supposed to be gone. Radar looks like they're gone for us here in Princeton. Hopefully it'll stay that way, at least throughout the rest of the day. High 60 tonight. 30% chance of rain is going to move in overnight. They're calling it after midnight, so hopefully we won't have to worry about it in the evening around supper time or anything like that. Low 54. Tomorrow, 50-50 shot at showers is going to return in late morning. Partly cloudy by afternoon, high 68. Then on Wednesday, 50-50 chance continues right on into Wednesday, high 71. It is 66 at 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Community Medical. Celebrating 70 years of community service. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. A House committee is investigating Friday's firing of State Department Inspector General Steve Linick. He was reportedly looking into Secretary Mike Pompeo having a State Department employee run personal errands, like